Good afternoon, people. Watch Woman 65, Lisa Boyce here. I told you I was going to come back on and do this thing about martial law. I found this article on Zero Hedge, but it was a continuing article on there. I'm going to link this article in the description box. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot, but it's very informative. But I'm going to get to this point. It says, how likely is martial law in the United States? And it says, and I'm going to read this. It says, let's face it, the country right now, which is true, is a ticking time bomb. From widespread social unrest, crime, and violence to the growing national debt, which includes the entire subset of our population that depends on government assistance to exist. Writing is on the wall. Now, I get down here, and it says, in my opinion, the writer of this story, we are already under martial law. There is a form of martial law going on right now. The founders never intended standing armies policing the citizens of the United States, and sadly, that is exactly what we have right now. Drones, armored vehicles, and high-powered weapons, tanks, battlefields, helicopters are no longer something that you see on some foreign battlefield. It's now standard operating procedure at police stations throughout the country. Our federal government has poured billions of dollars into materializing and taking over our country's local police fences. Now, this coronavirus thing, right now, 26,000 are confirmed cases, have confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. 340 are now dead. I think the number's higher. I really don't think they're saying what the true number of this thing is. With that being said, between that, all the other prophecies that are coming to pass, and everything else, there are millions of people worldwide that are on lockdown as we speak. And that brings me to Isaiah 26:20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. But behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a precursor to what is to come. We are seeing the throes of the great tribulation period as we speak. Prophecy is coming to pass. Martial law right now basically is enacted. I just heard on the news this morning, Hawaii has started a lockdown. Now that goes to show you, and I'm going to point out a thing here. Excuse me. That goes to show you they want to wait and say that this disease will subside in the warm weather. Well, Hawaii just put people on a lockdown as well. And they're saying anybody who violates this, they're going to be fined. And I got to find the article for this. I heard it on Fox News this morning. They're going to be fined $5,000 for anyone who defines that. Yeah. That's a form of martial law. I mean, seriously? They're saying that, and Andrew Cuomo of New York, has also said that anybody who violates that is going to be fined as well. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's come down to. This is actually the precursor to what's going to happen. We are not subject to the wrath of God. He removes the church out before all that happens. But we are certainly seeing what's going to happen in the future. And if this is happening now, be glad and be praising God. You should be praising the Lord that we are going to be raptured before the rest of this comes down. What's going to come down on this earth? Because it's not going to be pretty. Now, in this article, it says President Bush expands martial law authority. And I'm not going to get into it because it's going into the history of it as well. And it says that the Obama administration also put together a task force that outlines rules for the nation's police. So this thing has been in effect. You see the increasing number of joint police military drills that are using American citizens as theoretical threats. So it's already here. It's already here. Now, what can constitute a martial law? Pandemics. What do we have now? A pandemic. I'm going to leave this article in the description box. I have something else that's going on too. Don't mean to bombard you all at once with all this, but you're going to have to know that Yellowstone is acting up right now. Yellowstone is a ticking time bomb right now. And I'm not going to read the entire article on that, but I'm going to give you what I have here so far. And this came out off of the Daily Mail. And it came out, I think this came out Friday, off the Daily Mail. It says a huge chunk of Yellowstone's national park, the size of Chicago, is breathing in and out due to magma trapped underneath the surface. It says an area the size of Chicago in Yellowstone National Park has been inflating and deflating by several inches over the past decade, and it's getting worse. I've noticed, because I used to live near Washington State, and I was right on the Idaho border, which is next to Montana right there, and I noticed here lately that the earthquakes are increasing over there a lot. It's a lot of earthquakes, especially near Montana, upstate Idaho, in that area. It says an area the size of Chicago in Yellowstone National Park has been inflating and deflating by several inches over the past decade. It says the Norris Geyser Basin, the oldest, hottest, and most dynamic thermal area in the park, was observed to rise 5.9 inches each year from 2013 to 2015. An unusual event that left researchers baffled. And that was back in 2013 and 15. Now, using satellite radar and GPS data, experts have determined the ground deformation was caused by magma intrusions trapped below the basin's surface. As magma made its way to the surface, the pressure pushed the rocks above and up and created an erratic, pulsating effect. For the first time, the scientific community has been able to track an entire episode of magma intrusion, which they say is a common occurrence throughout Yellowstone. I don't know whether you've been to Yellowstone or been near there. That park, that whole area is ginormous. If Yellowstone was to blow, I think it would be catastrophic nationwide if that park was to blow. I know we would feel it here. As a matter of fact, back in the 80s when Mount St. Helens blew, they said here in Ohio that they felt that here. That's pretty significant. At 3,472 square miles, the park is larger than the state of Rhode Island and Delaware combined. And like I said, I'm going to share this. I'm going to put both of these articles in the description box so you can, read them in time. But like I said, that's funny that they brought this up because, like I said, the earthquakes are increasing over there. I mean, I'm talking earthquakes in the high 2s, 3s. I think they had 1.4 about a week ago. And it's, here, 3.2 in Duvall, Washington this morning. Utah is not helping with that either because they're still, they are still getting little tremors that can lead up to one big quake. So I'm going to leave those articles in the description box. I just wanted to come on and tell you a little bit about, they're just not coming out saying about the martial law. But you read the article and you'll find out for yourself. And about Yellowstone. So I'll leave both of these articles in the description box. In the meantime, I'll be back later. Thank you.